Had to work hard just to get right here, just to get right here. And I did it all by myself. Ain't getting nowhere. Got up when I got knocked down. When I got knocked down, yeah.
So how long it normally take to build a bike?
Man, you know that's something that I would say I'm just now realizing or understanding, because like on our end, right, on the boosters and the grudge bike stuff, I'm gonna tell you, DME and companies like DME, they make life real easy for us.
Sure.
Like we buy a front rack, or we buy this, or we buy that. Like we can pretty much buy everything and bolt it on our chassis, put a motor in it, and go.
Right.
I mean, the thing that takes the longest for us is getting the parts. But you got a lot of people who got stuff in stock, but we pretty much can put a bike together in quick fashion. It's nothing like that with these bikes. Everything is made, everything is custom, everything is one-off, made to fit to this specific bike, to this specific rider, and they make everything. They don't buy anything. Like every single bracket, whatever that's on that motorcycle, on these bikes, I should say, is made in-house. So it's a real tedious job. I'll say it like this. I started January 2nd, and they were already started the process. Like they already had frames done and some stuff made up or whatever the case may be. So I missed, I would say, 30% of the initial stuff. And we've been prepping. We've just been prepping ever since. I mean, we started putting bikes together Friday. It's been prep time, just making the stuff we need and sending it out to get anodized and this and that. That's been for the last month and a half.
Wow.
As well. So I would say, if I had all that rambling, if I was to say how long does it take to build a bike, I would say 3 months. Yeah, like you setting this, like if you're building Kelly Clons's bike, or you're building Richard Gadson's bike, or Gage Herrera's bike, you're setting it up for him.
Right.
And what he wants or what she wants, or whatever the case may be. So I would say, and when I say 3 or 4 months, I mean that if that's somebody's job,
right,
all day, every day. Now, I ain't saying if you're not in a pinch, or you got to get something done, or you got to get a bike built. Like I saw Matt Smith posted a bare frame, I don't know, maybe a month ago, and he's got a whole bike together. So I don't know the dynamics. I don't know what he already had, or what he had to make, or whatever the case may be. So I'm not saying that in a pinch you can't just spit one out. But if you really just kind of like working on it 8-9 hour days or whatever, it's going to take a few months for sure.
Wow. Now, since we on that, how important is it to set bikes up for the rider?
That's probably one of the most important things. Is like, so when I rode Eddie's bike in Vegas, I wasn't comfortable at all.
Right.
His foot pegs were really far back, and his handlebars were like extended forward. Like me, with my size, I can't ride just any bike, and it's always been like that for Pro Mod. I do, but I can ride it as long as it leaves the start line and goes straight. Right? But if I gotta put like a rider input, like hang off the side of it or whatever, it's always hard for me because I don't have the leverage points. The pegs are kind of far back, the handlebars are far forward. So you take, if you fully extend your arms and fully extend your legs, it kind of like almost locks you in place. You're just holding on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So setting the peg location up to where the rider's comfortable, or the handlebar location, or the clutch lever angle, or the air shifter button where your thumb, because everybody's hands are different sizes, and where your thumb may find the button, or just so many different things. So all that stuff, that's super important, so that you had a confidence. You know what I mean? Like I actually made a mistake on Eddie's bike on my second pass in Vegas. And it was really just because it wasn't set up for me. I wasn't comfortable. I was honest about it when I came back. I told them, I was like, well, that pretty much happened because of this and this. And they were like, okay, cool. And because they asked me before I rode, they were like, do we need to change anything? And I was like, nah, I'll pretty much make do. And I did for the most part, but I did make a mistake because of not being comfortable. So just giving yourself the confidence so you can go out there and do what you got to do. And it's no different than what we do, Ken. If you sit on a bike and and it's real high up off the ground, or just whatever, when you sit in the start line, you like, man, I don't know, like,
Right.
it's a little, when the tree falls, you just kind of like, I can't explain it. I probably don't have to explain it to you.
Yeah.
But if you sit on a bike and you like, man, this feels comfortable. It's cut. After you put your DME cut tank shell on it and you get your front end set up and everything, you're like, man, I can ride this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that. Same thing.
Right.